lighting in the sukkah. One should not light Shabbat and Yom Tov candles in one sukkah because of the fire hazard that it poses, unless one lights the candles in a protective box. The candles should be lit in a place in the house that can be seen from the sukkah. If this is not possible, it's permissible to light the candles in the house, even if one cannot see them from the sukkah, provided that one benefits from the candlelight at some point that night. So preferably you should light in the sukkah if you have ability to take care of the fire hazard issue. But if you don't have ability to take care of the fire hazard issue, you should light in the house where you could see it. 56. One should not light the candles before the time of Plag Minha. Plag Minha is time before Minha Ktana, which is before Shkia. So you have the day, the afternoon, which is split up with Chatzot midday. Then you have Mincha Gdola, which is half hour after midday, and that's the earliest time to pray Mincha. Then you have Plag Mincha after that, and then you have Mincha Ktana, and then you have sunset. So the time of Plag Mincha, which means half of Mincha, which is half the time between Plag Mincha, between Mincha Gdola and Mincha Ktana, you have over there ability to light with the intention of accepting Shabbat. And one who lit before Plag Mincha with the intention of accepting Shabbat should light again after Plag Mincha. But a new bracha should not be recited upon lighting a second time. So let's say this week, right? Sunset is, let's say 5 o'clock, right? And then let's say maybe 5:05 is candle lighting, let's say, right? So then if you want to light the earliest possible to light Plag Mincha, which is going to be around 45 minutes before that, almost an hour before that. So then if you light by Plag Mincha, you have to accept Shabbat for the candle lighting to be valid. But if you light before Plag Mincha, it doesn't count. You have to light again after Plag Mincha. So basically, Plag Mincha is the earliest you can light. 57. One who wants to light immediately after Plag Mincha must accept Shabbat upon lighting in order for the lighting to be recognizable that it was done for the honor of Shabbat. If one lights the candles within half hour of Shkia, sunset, then one does not need to accept Shabbat upon lighting. Therefore, one who wants to travel by car to a more distant synagogue for the tefillot of Friday night must be careful to light candles at most half an hour before Shkia. So let's say a person is going to go away to someone's house for the meal and going to come back home that night, and he wants to drive to that location. So if you light after Plag Mincha Shabbat candles, you have to accept Shabbat. You won't be able to go in a car. So therefore, you got to light the earliest half hour before Shkia. Candle lighting is 18 minutes before sunset. When we're discussing half hour before Shkia, that's sunset. So half hour before sunset, so really 12 minutes before candle lighting. 12 minutes before candle lighting is the earliest you can light in order to be able to not accept Shabbat and light the candles. So if you want to drive, you got to light 12 minutes before candle lighting, half hour before Shkia. Let's see the note over here. 81. Shulchan Aruch in the Resh Samech Gimal. Regarding time Plag Mincha, Yavi Omer in the new edition says that one should be stringent and not recite a bracha on the lighting, even if one is lighting 1 1/4 halachic hours before Tzedek Kochavim. Since there's a dispute of whether one counts 1 1/4 halachic hours from Tzedek Kochavim or from Shkia. So there's an argument how to calculate Plag Mincha. So if you're going to calculate according to the earlier opinion, you shouldn't say a bracha. Interesting. Halacha Brura says in a city where most of the city accept Shabbat an hour and a quarter before Shabbat, known as early Shabbat, then a woman who lights at that time does not have to accept Shabbat immediately upon lighting candles. However, in Eretz Yisrael, where the custom of most people is to accept Shabbat the regular time, then she must accept upon lighting if she intends to accept Shabbat the earlier time. Not everybody in our city does early Shabbat. Only a certain amount of people do early Shabbat. So therefore, if you light by Plag Mincha, you have to accept Shabbat. 58. If a couple needs to drive somewhere before half an hour prior to Shabbat, and can only light the Shabbat candles before leaving, since they will not return until later that night, it is permissible for the woman to light the candles and accept Shabbat, and her husband may drive her and perform the necessary malachot for her to get in and out of the car as well. That's a big hidush. Wow. So, comes out that the husband does not automatically accept Shabbat when the wife accepts Shabbat. Preferably, the husband and the wife should accept Shabbat at the same time. But if they don't, so then the husband could still do malacha for the wife, even though she lit the candles and accepted Shabbat. 59. One may not light the Shabbat candles before Plag Mincha and then recite the bracha upon lit candles after Plag Mincha. So you see, you can't light the candles before the Plag and then wait till it's Plag and then say the bracha. You have to light and say the bracha after plag. 60. One who must leave his home before plag mincha and will not return until it is already Shabbat may not light the candles before plag mincha. And even if one will cover them beforehand, only uncover them on Shabbat. Instead, one should ask a neighbor or a relative to light on one's behalf at the proper time. 61. It is customary to light Shabbat candles beginning from 20 minutes before Shkia. This is also the Sephardic custom in Yerushalayim, unlike many Ashkenazim who light the Shabbat candles 40 minutes before Shkia. That's the custom, to accept Shabbat 40 minutes before Shkia. But according to Sfaradim, it's 20 minutes. 62. Well, that's why we see that the candle lighting is usually 18 minutes before Shkia. One who lives in Yerushalayim and has been accustomed to lighting 40 minutes before Shkia may revert back to the Sephardic custom and light 20 minutes before Shkia. Although Hatarat Nedarim would be unnecessary, it is preferable for such a person to perform Hatarat Nedarim on this custom. Okay, 63. One should be extra careful to light the candles at the proper time and not wait until the last moment to light the candles. Even if one has a minute or two, or even 5 minutes left to light, he should refrain from lighting at that time, since it's possible that one's watch or calendar are not exactly precise, and one stands the possibility of lighting Shabbat when Shabbat has already occurred, unless one can ensure without a doubt that he has the accurate time for his exact location. So a lot of times people rely on the 18 minutes. They say, oh, technically I have 18 minutes after the candle lighting. So that's not always true. Maybe your clock is off. Maybe it's not exact. You might be Mechalot Shabbat if you go down to the wire. So therefore, that's why we always try not to use the 18 minutes. We try always to accept Shabbat early. There's a mitzvah to accept Shabbat early, a few minutes early. Try not to ever use the 18 minutes. Okay, let's do the note 89 in the middle of it. Shuvot Rishon LeZion, volume 1. Okay, if one sees that his wife will not be able to light on time, it is proper for him to light the candles instead of her. However, one should only do so after one has given proper warning to his wife that she should not get carried away and forget to light. 64. It is not permitted to light Shabbat candles after Shkia, after sunset. If one has electric lights on in the house, then one may not even ask a non-Jew to light the Shabbat candles on one's behalf during Shemona Shmashot. However, if one does not have any other lights on, and you'll be in the dark, then one may ask a non-Jew to light the Shabbat candles without reciting a bracha when the non-Jew is lighting, if Ben Shashot has not yet passed. So it's weird. You're going to have a non-Jew light your Shabbat candles, so he can't say a bracha. He can't be your shaliach. But at the end of the day, you should have lights. Why should you be in the dark on Shabbat? So therefore, you can ask during Ben Shmashot, during twilight time, you can ask a non-Jew to light the Shabbat candles. At least you shouldn't be in the dark. 90. Halacha Brura adds that if the woman is extremely disturbed by the fact that she forgot to light the Shabbat candles, she may be lenient and ask a non-Jew to light them for her, even though there are electric lights on the home. However, even when there are no electric lights in the home, the woman may not recite the bracha on the Shabbat candles upon the non-Jew's lighting. Okay, great. 65. Prior to lighting the wicks of Shabbat candles, one must recite Baruch Atah Amonai, Elokeinu melech haolam, la'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Okay, the word Kodesh should not be added at the end of the bracha. That's what Chazon Avadia says, la'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Even if one is lighting more than one candle, because ner is singular, nerot is plural, still, one should not say nerot shel Shabbat. If one mistakenly said nerot, you fulfill the mitzvah, you don't have to say another bracha. But, the Kabbalistic reason, you should only say ner. You shouldn't say nerot. Okay, 67. If one recited la'adlik ner Shabbat without the word shel, it's la'adlik ner shel Shabbat, to light the candle of Shabbat. He forgot the word of, shel. So the bracha is nevertheless valid, doesn't have to say it again. 68. If it's proper for a person to recite the bracha out loud, so everyone can say amen. In general, this is a good rule. You say shahakol, you say la'aniach tefillin, any bracha you say it out loud. Why should you be whispering secrets to yourself? Give everyone the ability to say amen. You're stealing from everybody the ability to say amen. So say bracha out loud, everyone should say amen. 69. According to Shulchan Aruch, the bracha that is recited upon lighting Shabbat candles must be recited before lighting, just like we do by all mitzvot, that we do the bracha before the mitzvah. The custom of the Ashkenazim, most Ashkenazim, is to recite bracha only after lighting the candles. We're going to learn this note next time. But basically, the minhag Ashkenaz is to be choshesh, to be concerned for the opinion of the Bahag, who says you accept Shabbat once you make the bracha. So therefore, they light the candles and then say bracha, because you can't say the bracha and then mechalot Shabbat by lighting the candles. But according to Shulchan Aruch, you're allowed, you're opposite. You're supposed to do the bracha before the mitzvah. So you say the bracha, la'adlik ner shel Shabbat, and then light the candles. Hazak Baruch. See everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.